You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. Washburn County officials have announced a new service for veterans in the area. According to a press release, the county has partnered with Fiddler Technologies to create an honor reward system for veterans. Through the program, veterans can sign up to receive an honor rewards card, which will qualify them for discounts and incentives at local participating businesses. They can register for the service online or in person at the Veterans Service Office. Local businesses can also register to participate in the program online. Bayfield County officials say they've secured the necessary funding to advance their plans for a new business park. According to a press release, the county received a $150,000 grant from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation to develop the roads around the planned Bayfield County Business Park. The funding will be used to finish a 2,100-foot section of Arganbright Road, connecting State Farm Road to Highway 137, while adding access points to the new business park and improving storm drainage. State Republicans are criticizing the new election observers rule proposal from the Wisconsin Elections Commission. The proposal is meant to clarify what election observers can and can't do at Wisconsin polling sites. The proposal would allow observers to be within 3 to 8 feet from the tables where voters show their identification, as well as allowing them to move between tables and review non-confidential voter information in poll books. State Republicans say they want a threat of punishment for violation of election observer rules. The driver of a motorcycle accused of evading capture during a high-speed chase in Barron County has entered a not guilty plea. According to court documents, 22-year-old Logan Olson of Rice Lake was charged with fleeing an officer, recklessly endangering safety, and bail jumping following the October chase. Barron County authorities say they were forced to call off their pursuit when Olson allegedly drove the motorcycle onto a pedestrian trail near the Highway O overpass of the Red Cedar River. Olson is facing up to 10 years in prison. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is once again asking residents to help them keep track of black bear dens across the state. According to DNR officials, residents might start seeing signs or hearing sounds like squeaking or humming of new bear cubs at this time of year. If you do stumble upon the location of a bear den, you should stay at least 30 yards away while noting any tracks, scratch marks, or damaged plants. The DNR is asking residents to take a picture of the den if safe and report its location on the online survey. Governor Tony Evers and the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection have announced $1 million in grant funding to support farmer-led groups. The funding through the Producer-Led Watershed Protection Grant Program will be split between 49 groups across the state, including some in northwest Wisconsin, like farmers of the Barron County Watersheds and Chippewa Valley Producer-Led Watershed. The funding is meant to help the awarded groups improve the state's soil health and water quality. The Port of Duluth Superior officially has a new shipping terminal open for business. The $23 million project on Winter Street took about 6 years to come to fruition and was funded through $13 million in federal and state grants, with the remaining funding coming from C. Rice, the company that owned the property. Company officials say the site they had formerly used to conduct their business had major infrastructure concerns, including flooding issues, which led to their decision that moving operations to the new site was a better option. A Rice Lake affordable housing project is now at a standstill as the city reclaims ownership of the site. The project would have seen a former nursing home on Newton Street converted into an affordable housing complex. The city purchased the land in 2018 and contracted the nonprofit Movin' Out for the renovations. Amid supply chain issues and growing construction costs, the nonprofit did not apply for needed tax credits this year, and the city terminated the contract. Officials still believe they have options for affordable housing at the property. Governor Tony Evers and the Wisconsin Department of Transportation have announced a $100 million investment in rural road infrastructure. According to a press release, the funding through the Agricultural Roads Improvement Program will support 55 projects across the state and target aging local roads that serve as transportation corridors for the state's agricultural industry. The program can offer reimbursement of up to 90% of the total cost for eligible projects, which include repairs for roads and bridges used by agricultural producers. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul announced he has joined a coalition of 15 attorneys general in reaffirming their commitment to protect access to gender-affirming care. In a statement, the coalition said the Trump administration's executive order is wrong on both the science and the law and reiterated that healthcare decisions should be made by patients, families, and doctors. The coalition also highlighted a federal court decision to resume funding for institutions providing that care following a temporary freeze by another executive order. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
The Bucks make another trade. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks have picked up Jericho Sims from the Knicks. Sims is 6'10", a backup center for New York. In exchange, the Bucks sending guard DeLon Wright and some cash to the Knicks. Milwaukee beating the Hornets in Charlotte, 112-102. Afterwards, players reacting to Chris Middleton being traded to the Wizards after 12 seasons in Milwaukee. Brooke Lopez.
I wasn't aware of it till Doc mentioned it at a film session, so it definitely hit me as a shock. Obviously going to miss him. It's going to be a huge adjustment.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It still hurts. Because those are your guys that, especially the guys that you've won with. They're like family to you.
NFL, the Chiefs and the Eagles getting ready for the Super Bowl. Packers running back Josh Jacobs says his team needs to add some veterans in free agency.
You know, obviously with finishing the way we did, and you know, we right there. So just trying to make it all make sense, put some more pieces together and figure it out.
With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Here's one of Pete's picks. It's actually more like a half pick, as I sort of enjoyed the film Amelia Perez. The musical crime drama, yes, you heard that right, has 13 Oscar nominations, including for Best Picture. The story is about a ruthless drug cartel boss who hires a lawyer, played by Zoe Saldana, to help him through the gender transitioning process and to help him disappear afterwards. The logline really grabbed me, but I thought it started slow and didn't like the look of it. It did pick up steam and provided some gripping, intense moments. Ultimately, it's a little unsatisfying in my opinion, and I tend to agree with the reviews it received on Rotten Tomatoes. The film got a 73% fresh rating from critics, which is good, but a little lower than you'd expect for a film nominated for 13 Oscars. Only 18% of audiences like the film. Having said that, it still might be worth a watch, as you don't see many musical crime thrillers where cartel bosses have sex change operations. The film is free to view on Netflix. A new reboot is on the way, which is not a surprise, as Hollywood seems determined to remake everything it's ever done. This time, it's a new iteration of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Star of the original, Sarah Michelle Gellar, will be part of the cast, but not the central focus. This is the second attempt at a reboot. One in 2018 did not quite make it to the little screen. When and if the show drops, it will premiere on Hulu. During a recent appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, actress Nicole Kidman told the host about her favorite keepsake, the handwritten lyrics to Elton John's famous song, Your Song. Kidman was one of the stars of Moulin Rouge, in which the song was featured and sang by Ewan McGregor. Your Song has been covered many times over the years. Great tune. Ted Danson and Kelsey Grammer had a feud that not many people knew about dating back to the show Cheers. On a recent episode of the Where Everybody Knows Your Name podcast, hosted by Danson and Woody Harrelson, Grammer says the feud started when Danson accused him of not always showing up ready to work. Grammer says he owned it and added that he was drinking too much back then. No fists thrown, curses exchanged, or hitting on each other's wives? That's barely a grudge. Sometimes it just takes a little convincing from someone like Steven Spielberg for an actor to take a role in a film. Actor Ke-Huy Han says he was offered the lead role as an action star in the film Love Hurts. The star of Everything All at Once and The Goonies told director Jonathan Eusebio no 3 times because he wasn't feeling it. That is until Spielberg convinced him he didn't need to look like Sylvester Stallone to be a hero. If Steve Spielberg gives you advice, probably best to take it. Love Hurts opens this weekend. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The snow is done, but it is going to be windy today, so there could be a little blowing snow at times, especially in rural areas. Our high 25, it'll be partly cloudy, wind will be west, gusting to near 40. 3 above tonight, looking forward to more snow from Friday night through much of Saturday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Outside right now, it's 12.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.